3, 2, 1, live.
We'll just wait for some people coming on.
Yeah, no problem. She's gonna be naughty, aren't you, Polly?
I've got 2. I've got Scappy there, and I've got the pup in the living room. But he sometimes hears the voice. When he hears the door go, he's woof 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 at the door. It's 7 on. 7 on. Come on, guys. We need more than 7 on. So building up now.
Shall I just introduce myself?
Yeah, if you want to introduce yourself, yeah.
I'm Chrissy from UK CBD Oils. We have a shop at 40 Borough Road in Middlesbrough, and we'll have online presence uk-cbdoils.com. This isn't my dog, minding it.
Yeah. So CBD, Chrissy, there's a lot of controversy with it, because people say, is it a drug? If you take it, can you get banned when you're driving, or can you go on the rigs and get caught taking it? And can you explain what it is, please, to people?
The CBD comes from the hemp plant, but it's grown with low THC. So it's grown below 0.2%. And then when you've got your products, it's below 1 milligram per container of THC. So it's very low. So it shouldn't fail drug tests. And you wouldn't get any high feelings. And even if you drank a full bottle, you shouldn't fail a drug test. The only thing we advise is if you're like a taxi driver or something, and you're taking it out and about with you while you're on your driving job, if you take it under the tongue and then it was swabbed within so long afterwards, like half an hour, it could be a false positive. So we advise them to carry it with them.
An hour before you go in your car.
Yeah.
So the THC, that is the drug, isn't it? Where you get nicked, where people smoke cannabis, which is raw cannabis. That's the THC. But I've read up. I was in hospital and I had it off. I got it off use because I was bad with the arthritis in the back and the nuts and bolts and all that stuff. So I was taking it and I was hiding it from the nurse. Anyway, one nurse said, "What are you doing there?" I said, I use that. She said, I said, "Oh, is it legal?" I said, "Oh, yeah, it's in all the hospitals. It's in all the health shops. It's legal now." So I was thinking, get me drugs here. I used to take a couple of drops. It was really good for my arthritis in my hands when it was raining. When it's a really bad day, when it's cold, my hands get really bad arthritis in my knees. So I take 2 little drops, I leave it for about 90 seconds, and like you've taught me. And the difference is unbelievable.
Well, you hold it under the tongue for the 90 seconds, so it helps get into your system faster, because if you swallow it, it has to go through your digestive system, so it takes longer then.
Would you lose a lot of the potency because it's gone through your body as well that way, maybe?
Yeah, you lose quite a lot. We've just brought out a new water-soluble range for that reason. So with the water-soluble, it's a full spectrum, and you add it into your drinks. You can still take it under the tongue, but you can add it into your drink, and it hasn't got the nasty taste. But because of the water solubility, it's a new technology and it helps absorption. So you absorb about 70-80% more of the CBD than any other product. So that's a new range that we've just brought out.
So I'm presuming that with that, I'm presuming that with it being stronger, you probably need a couple of drops because it's 70%.
Yeah, well, we're only doing it at a 500 milligram bottle at the moment to see how it goes, and then we could possibly look at offering higher strengths. But the 500 milligram bottle will be stronger than like the 1,000 milligram, say, of a full spectrum, just because you're going to absorb much more of it.
Right.
But it's easy for people who don't like the taste of it, or if someone wants to have it in the coffees and stuff. And we're getting approached by a lot of coffee shops because they want to start adding like it into their coffees, like give it as like a extra when you're going in, like if you want a CBD boost in your coffee.
It's very good for people with depression as well, isn't it? And people with anxiety and phobias like OCD and things like that. Can you explain?
I'd say about 70% of our customers are using it for anxiety. I've used it myself, especially after all the lockdowns. I was very anxious starting back in work after all them months off. Like I was waking up feeling sickly on a morning and no appetite. And I've found for my body, I need about 30 to 40 milligram of CBD per day. And about 3 or 4 days, my anxiety is much better. But again, everyone's body is different. So we advise starting on low doses and building it up. My preference is gummies or capsules, but I am going to change to the new water soluble because it'll be more cost effective for myself as well as most other people.
Yeah. It's good for pain, isn't it? With people with pain, chronic pain as well.
Yeah, it works on our body's receptors on the cytokines which modulate our pain. So basically, the CBD is working with our body. That's what even with anxiety, it works with your serotonin and things like that. It's more of a natural way of like taking stuff to help, like pain, sleep, anxiety. We sell as a food supplement, but we have a lot of like reviews on our website where people are sharing their experiences, because we have to be careful what we're saying. But that's what people tend to use it for. Like yourself, you've used it for like pain.
Yeah.
But we can't like promote like
Yeah.
on social media, like you can use it for back pain or you can use it for anxiety.
Yeah. Is there what else is it good for?
I think it's good for your general health and well-being as well, because I don't want to get too scientific, but we have a system in our body called the endocannabinoid receptor system. This was only found in 1993, and we have CB1 and CB2 receptors. They're all the way throughout our body, in our brain as well, and the cannabinoids like work with that. We produce our own cannabinoids, and they're called endogenous cannabinoids. The CBD that you're taking from us is called phytocannabinoids from the plant. So basically, our body produces our own. So what the CBD does is it works with your body to help regulate your body more and help produce. So some people might take CBD for an ailment, like say for anxiety or for pain, and they might get results instantly, but that means they're probably more deficient.
Right.
Where other people might not be as deficient, so it takes time to get into the system.
Right.
But that system has only been around, like I've only known about it since 1993, and they're still not learning much about it in medical school and stuff. So it's early stages really, but it controls your whole body. So they believe a lot of illnesses could be linked to that system. So by supplementing it, it might be a preventative.
Is it safe, for instance, if you're a long distance lorry driver? Is it safe to take them? Does it keep you don't fall asleep on anything? Because people, when you see them on smoking cannabis, like I've seen people and fall asleep, obviously because that's the THC. This hasn't got as much nowhere near as much THC. So
No.
you just drive nice and normal, and you're okay for.
It wouldn't affect. Yeah, it wouldn't affect your driving. I mean, I've got someone who comes and gets it from the shop, and he's a lorry driver. He parks his lorry outside the shop and nips in, and it's helping him like keep more relaxed, and it wouldn't affect his driving. It wouldn't make you tired. The only thing I've found is sometimes when people have first started taking it and they're taking it for sleep, sometimes they're taking too much and they're oversleeping, and then they're feeling a bit tired the next day, so they need to reduce the dose. So we've had a few people say that, but then they reduce the dose and they feel okay. And where's it grown? It's Poland. Ours comes from.
And yours is all tested, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all lab tested. I've done some qualifications. So I did a qualification in lockdown. It's with a training academy in America. I was going to be going out to do it with my dad. We were going to go to America to do this exam, but I ended up doing it online. So I become a certified CBD coach, and I've just done a course in CBD and mental health. And I'm currently doing a course with CBD in animals to be learning more about how it reacts with the animals and in their body.
So you can give it to dogs and things like that.
Yes. Well, we always advise to speak to your vet.
Yeah.
But we have had a few people recently where the vets have advised to be taking it.
Right.
We normally advise a non THC product for pets as well. But we have had some vets say to take the ones with a full spectrum. We had someone recently for Cushing's disease for their dog. We've had people using it for dogs with separation anxiety.
Yeah.
And it's very popular around firework night because it can help relax your dogs.
My dog's petrified of fireworks. I understand that. But when you take it, or the dog takes it, or whoever takes it, you don't get addicted to it, do you? Like you do.
No. We have had people coming in to try and come off certain drugs, weed, cocaine. We've had people coming in to take CBD to help because it can help with like when they're struggling to sleep on a night. Like weed, like although it's not like bad for us as in our health as it can, like a cigarette can cause cancers, weed doesn't. But the only thing with weed now is it's the THC is so high, and people who are over smoking it are risking of like mental health issues. And that's what's going on now. So people are trying to like opt more towards CBD. But if you take a CBD alongside the THC, it can counteract the high side effects as well. So it wouldn't be as strong.
Right. But you can't get high off it, can you? Off the
No,
one.
no, 100% not. No.
It's
And
impossible.
everything we sell is all above board. So it's like CBD gummies, capsules, vapes. We keep getting people asking us for the CBD flowers, which is where you can smoke it, but that's a very grey area. You're not supposed to sell it, because it looks like weed, but it isn't. It hasn't got the THC.
I can imagine that puts people off seeing that because it looks so much like it, and it looks like probably.
Yeah, that's why you're not meant to sell it really, because the
difference is different.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody on a bus making one up and thinking, and everyone will think it's a joint, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So what type of dogs with anxiety and stuff that works for dogs? All dogs with arthritis and things, would it work on things like that?
It can do, yeah. I mean, my dad, his dog was on it for 4 years. I know it's my dad, so it's like more personal for me, but we have had other people's dogs using for that sort of thing. Kayak he was a husky and he lived to just before his 16th birthday. But for the last 4 years of his life, he was on CBD. It was started on full spectrum, and then it was moved to an isolate range, so he was able to take a higher dose.
Right.
But we have people using it for the cats as well. But again, we advise to go and speak to your vets before pursuing it, especially if they're on any medication. When we first launched the brand, we were offered to go into garages around the UK, and obviously that would be a good thing, as in you'd get more sales. But if you're in a car garage or like a petrol station garage and you're not getting any advice, you won't know if the CBD is going to interact with your medications and things like that, because CBD can interact with some people's medications. So we can advise there as well. And if we're unsure, we always say go and speak to your doctor.
Yeah. And what else is it good for? Can you elaborate any more things it's good for?
We've got people using it for so many reasons. We've got people using it for even just general aches and pains, back pain, sciatica. We do I've got some products here. So we've got like a heat cream. So that's 300 milligram of CBD per tub, and this is ideal for people who have got like muscle pain, or we've got people using it for the knees when they're waiting knee replacements or hip replacements. Just rub a small amount onto the areas, and then we do capsules.
What price is that, Chrissy?
What, sorry?
Price is that the tub, the cream one?
We've recently reduced our pricing, so this was $29.99. It's now $25.
Right.
We brought the pricing down recently.
How long would that last? Average person, that tub, for somebody like say bad knees or bad.
I think most people, it's averaging them about a month, maybe a bit more. It depends if it's just one knee, both knees. We've had people where they've got arthritis. But if it's all over the body, then we advise going with more of an oil drop so it can treat inside. Because if you're trying to use the cream all over, it wouldn't last as long. But the cream's ideal if it's just specific areas. We do a full range. We've got capsules for people who don't like the taste.
Right.
But we've got vegan ones and soft gel capsules.
Oh, so you got vegan as well. That's good.
Yeah. And the gummies, like one lot of gummies, which are these ones, they're vegan.
Yeah.
But we do, like, obviously we do the full spectrum products. Then we've got ones that have got no THC for anyone that doesn't want the THC in it.
So it's good for you if you've been at work all day and you've got knots and pains and you're just a normal person who doesn't get arthritis or anything. So now and then you have knots in your neck, and you just take a bit of that, takes that type of pain away as well.
Yeah, again with CBD, we can't tell people like how much they need to take.
Yeah.
Like what's going to help them. It's they need to work out.
What would you advise? Maybe start off with 2 drops, and then add maybe 3 the next day to see if it builds to the level.
So if you were to start on our 500 milligram full spectrum, we normally say start on 6 drops a day.
Right.
If we were to start on our 10%, 1,000 milligram, we say start on like 3 drops a day.
Right.
But I would say give it 4 or 5 days to get into your system, and then slowly increase to find out what works for you.
Is it better to take it when you're in pain, or is it better to take it at the same time every day?
Everyone's different, so it doesn't work like a paracetamol where like it's going to work within so many hours. I normally set mine at certain times, so I'd have it like morning, afternoon, and about an hour before bed. Someone's saying that it's a low dose of CBD. We have here a 2,500 milligram. We do up to 2,000 milligram, but that's isolate range with no THC. But we do 1,500 milligram of full spectrum in a 10 ml bottle. You can't get any higher than 1,500 milligram full spectrum because of the THC.
What full spectrum means? Because I don't even know what it means.
It means it's the whole plant. So it
Right.
contains all the cannabinoids from the plant, the THC included, but very low amounts. But we can't get any higher strength than that because of the THC levels. You can get larger bottles, so you could get, say, like 4,500 milligram, but then it would be in a 30 ml bottle, not a 10 ml. So it's equivalent then, but you need to take more. Like we get people asking why don't we do larger bottles, because we don't do larger bottles because it just makes you just need to take more for the same effect. So smaller bottle, more concentrated, you take less drops.
Yeah.
Full spectrum is better. I'd rather buy Avon. Hopefully everyone as well. Don't know, do they sell it in Avon?
Yeah, but you might buy Avon, it might make your skin better, but you'll be absolutely knackered when you can't get up in the morning.
I didn't know what to sell in Avon. I've never looked.
Yeah. Mad people put things on. So, how long has it been going on the market then in the UK legally?
I think it's been about 6-7 years. We've only been around since 2018. We were the first like shop in Middlesbrough to be specialised in the CBD. There has been others, but they did shut down, and there's some recent ones opening up.
Right.
But we're like fully specialised in CBD.
So you're the biggest shop in probably Teesside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got places like Boots and Holland and Barrett's, but they tend to stock many different brands. It can get quite confusing to people.
Someone said to me, one of the doctors around it, he said, don't get it from there because it's not as good. Go to a really top health shop or a CBD, like your shop type of thing. Go somewhere like that because they know what they're on about. The people just in a health shop don't really know much about it.
Yeah, I mean, like because they can't advise. We have to be careful what we say, but we offer more advice than like them sort of places.
So, what type of training courses would you do then to be an expert on it? Would you have to go to college to do it, or would you just do it online? Or
I've done online courses, so I've got a Bachelor of Science degree in Food and Nutrition, and then all the courses with CBD I've done online. I don't think there's anything at the moment like university or college wise that I can do. But there's quite a few courses that you can find online that are all accredited. Like the one I did recently was a level 3 in mental health and CBD. We do want to start helping out in mental health more as well.
Yeah. A lot of people suffer from mental health, don't, because the chemicals are all wrong in the brain. So suppose when you have the CBD, when you're taking it, probably it levels your brain out, and the chemicals in your brain, because you're more calms the brain.
Yeah, it increases your serotonin, so it helps your moods and stuff.
That's the main thing. You don't produce as much serotonin or beta or gamma, and with that, it helps to produce more serotonin, so it levels the brain out. So it's better than for me, it's better than taking medication off the doctor. Even if the doctor does tell you to take it, don't get me wrong, you have to take it. But some people have got off the medication by going on the CBD and taking off the medication and going on that.
Yeah, we've had many people where they don't want to go down the medication route, so they want to try CBD first. Or we've had people where they're on medication but they want to try and come off their medication. But again, we advise to speak to your doctors, because certain medications you can't just come off them, like especially antidepressants.
Yeah.
I got a 1500 milligram full spec vape. 50ml bottle was £25 called Gizmo Vape. I'm nearly run out on the e-cig store. Don't stock it anymore. Can you help, please? We do a vape, but it's normally vapes aren't a full spectrum. We've got vapes online, but it's not a full spectrum vape. It's an isolate. But if you give me an email at CHRISSY@uk-cbdoils.com, I'll send you some information over.
Is it good for things like toothache and things like that? I know.
I don't know about that. I haven't had anyone say.
See, nobody's asked you that before, have they?
No, I mean, my partner had a really bad tooth in the lockdown, and I don't think it helped with that. But he had it was his wisdom tooth. It was infected.
Right.
It's not gonna work for everything, and it's not like people expect miracles, I think, sometimes, and then they get disappointed if they're not getting results straight away. We've had people come in the shop and they buy the product, go away, use it, and come back, and it hasn't worked. But then they've stuck.
An hour later, you mean?
They've stuck to one dose all the way through.
Right.
I've had people ring me up and they've been using products elsewhere and they're saying it's not working. Should they change to ours? They've got product left. I always advise to carry on taking what they've got before they buy something elsewhere. But I say you need to slowly increase your dose to find out what works for you.
It's like anything, isn't it? You get medication, you get antibiotics. You don't just take it and get better the next day. Medication takes time to work, like you've just said. If you start off on it, it's going to take 3 or 4 days to get in your system. Me, it goes in straight away within about an hour or so.
Yeah. Some people it could take a month or two before they feel the effects. Or we've had some people where they're thinking it's not really working, then they've come off. And then they stopped taking it, and after a few weeks, they're getting niggling pains that they didn't have before. So it was working, but I think some people expect it to totally take all the pain away, where some people it might do, but not all. You could have 2 people with the same condition, and basically what works for one won't work for another.
You've got people.
1 second. Discount code is BRI15. So BRI15. So
if it doesn't work, you have to come to me. The refund.
No, it should be working. Or can I write a comment or not? Someone's asking my email.
Of course you can, yeah.
I don't know where I write it. I don't know where do you write it? I'm not sure.
I haven't got a clue.
I don't think I've got. My email's CHRISSY CHRISSY @UK with a little dash CBDOils.com. But I'll come on afterwards and write it on.
The address for it to come to Borough Road, where is it?
40 Borough Road, TS1 5DW.
No, you can't do that. Can it fail a drug test? Somebody's asking.
The THC is very minute, less than a milligram per container. So even if you had a whole bottle, it shouldn't flag up on a blood test. we've advised when it's driving jobs, and if you're taking it, if you get a swab within so long, then you could flag a false positive.
Right.
Well, we haven't had that happen, but
Have
we
you ever
are.
heard of that then, ever? No.
No, I
No.
haven't,
No, I
but
I know lads who go on the rigs who used to take other tablets like diazepam and all other type of stuff, and they'd be taking them to get to sleep and everything. Now they take the CBD, they go on the rig, and they get tested, and it never comes back nothing. I know loads of lads who take it.
The only time I would be worried is if you're buying from a company that isn't fully lab tested. But the THC is within the laws, and it's very low. It shouldn't flag up on any sort of like blood test, anything like that. But if people are still nervous about taking it, you could try like a broad spectrum product. We do like a gummy with no THC in, or we do like the pure ranges. It depends on what you're using it for though. So if you're using it for pain, then full spectrum we advise for the best.
I suppose.
I didn't.
No, he won't fail the drug test. That's what she's saying. Yeah. Nobody's failed the drug test on it.
Yeah, so he works on the railways.
He wants to come off his med. Yeah.
Yeah. When we first launched, the British Railway was advising to take CBD to some of the staff. I think were getting anxiety and stuff like that. But we have had people use it and being fine. We have a lot of people using it for like working offshore.
Yeah,
we have had like people that work in the police use it.
Hospitals, doctors will use it. Nurses use it. Yeah, you won't believe how many people use it.
We just say like if you're worried about your company, I would speak to them direct and say like I'm going to be taking this. We can even provide lab tests and stuff so they know if they are worried. But it shouldn't flag up on a drug test. I did have someone take it and they said they had home kits because they work offshore and had their own home testing kits to test, and it never flagged up.
That you can buy a kit online. That's what a couple of my pals did on the rigs. They went online and took, like, say, instead of taking 6 drops, they took 8 or 10 or 12, and they've tested it and nothing's come back.
Yeah, so, no, it shouldn't do at all.
Times over the dose, what it says on the bottle, and it hasn't come back. And I know, like, quite a few people who go on the rigs. I know car mechanics who take it as well, and loads of people who take it, fitness instructors, loads of different people, nurses, doctors, and so. And so, like you say, it's all legal now. It's all under the laws, and your place.
Yeah, well, at the moment they're going through the novel food licensing, so like regulating the industry even more. So there'll be a lot of like companies that won't get accepted for the licensing, but it'll be all on the government site eventually. Whichever companies get accepted, it'll be all on there.
Because I know what you're saying there, because the companies who aren't legal, if they're making it themselves in the back street alley, and putting it in the bath wherever they're making it, you don't know what's in the community. They might say 1,500, could be 3,000 in it. So you're taking something that's going to be overdosing you, and then you take it and you're swallowing, and you will get done money if it comes back because it's not the proper stuff. Because
we get people coming in saying about Amazon, like Amazon's so cheap, much cheaper. But again, on like places like that, you're not guaranteed it's got any CBD in. Someone came in and they'd said, "Oh, do you do anything like this?" And they bought off Amazon. It was a little bottle, and they paid like £30 for it, and it was just hemp oil. It didn't actually have CBD in, but he didn't understand that. He just thought it was CBD. But Amazon were quite strict about selling it. Most social medias as well, you can't really promote on social medias. It's quite a hard industry to advertise.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful with what claims you're making.
I mean, you get pop stars taking it, singers taking it before they go on singing. You get people in bands. I know a few of the lads who are guitarists who are in bands. You get police officers taking it. You get army lads taking it. You got every all spectrum all over the place as people take.
Yeah, many people.
young people take their kids are even taking it on this. So
yeah, we've got some use it for the children with autism, ADHD. I think the youngest child was about 3-year-old that was taking it. With good results. We've got quite a few kids using it for like anxiety. I think a lot of kids have got anxiety now since all the lockdowns as well, like away from the friends and school and the routine. I think anxiety has gone up quite a lot since the lockdowns. We've had a lot more through the door saying about suffering with anxiety than they never used to. But
stress.
the stress,
The people that take their lives and everything because they're stressed to death. They're sat there and they've got no help because you can't get in the doctors now. It's so hard. So
everything in life's getting harder, isn't it? And it's stressful for everyone. And then the cost of living's going up. That's one of the reasons we were trying to reduce our pricing a bit as well. So like try and help customers out. Can you buy high THC and high CBD vape or whatever? I will buy. Thanks in advance. We do CBD vapes, but not THC. It's 1500 milligram vape shot we do, but it's just a booster, so it's got no flavor. That means you can just add it to your own flavors. So if you're already vaping, you can just add it to whatever you vape then. And with vaping, it's quite fast into your system. It's the fastest way to take it. It's within your system within minutes.
Right.
He's saying about witnessing people using it with tremors and stuff. Yeah, people are using it for Parkinson's. We get people using it for many things. We get people using it preventative as well. We have someone who comes regularly in the shop and he had a brain tumor 3 years ago. And he was told he would die and he had his treatments and stuff, but obviously he's been in the clear for 3 years, but he takes like his health supplements, he eats really healthy as well, as a preventative of it coming back.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? With my friend from Liverpool, his mum suffers with arthritis, terrible, and I got him some. What was your stuff? And I sent it to them. The Christmas type of thing. She's took it and she's never been better. She's walking and everything, all sorts now, just for the couple of drops a day she takes.
Yeah.
She's walking and mopping the floors and everything. He said she's doing brilliant. He said just for a few drops of that, and it was costing her more money for the medication than it would for the oil. And the medication is not good for you because with medication, all you get on it, and I'm not telling people not to take the medication. I'm saying what you do get on, you get stuck on it, and some of the medication you can't get off it because it's like opiates.
Yeah, well, they're quite addictive, aren't they? That's the thing with them ones. We've had people coming off around 8 tramadol a day with the CBD, but again, just because that individual could have come off it, not everyone would. Some people might be able to reduce it. It just depends on the individual. Someone's asking if they've had a back surgery a few years ago. Would the CBD cream be good to rub into your back? Yeah, it would be good to rub into the areas of pain. Some people find the cream's more than enough for them and that they just use the cream. But some people don't find it enough and then add it in with an oil as well. But we do offer bundles. So
I've had 2 major surgeries, 5 vertebrae in my neck, 2 titanium rods, and I used it and I got the cream and I put my neck and it worked brilliant. Emma put it on my legs when my legs were really bad. I had another surgery at the bottom of my back. Emma used to put that on my back, like a little bit of cream. And I preferred that better than the taste because I don't really like the taste of it. And it was in straight my system straight away. I could feel it and it was like warm, the feeling. And I got a good night's sleep, woke up, I didn't even think I'd been asleep. It was really good.
Yeah, I did a farmer's market locally in Barwick in the summer, and one guy was waiting for knee replacements and he's used just the cream and he was on pain relief. I think he wasn't on anything strong, but he was still on pain relief every day and he was able to reduce that with just the cream.
I was on 8 tramadol a day, and I was on 8 paracetamol and 8 Nurofen a day, and I might take two Nurofen every now and then. I was on, the morphine 5 times a day. I've gone down to once a day, just on the night now. So I've reduced nearly all of it by about 90% by taking that oil you got us and that bit of cream. And the difference is totally different because when you're on that stuff, you're just cabbaged. You just don't know what day it is. So obviously the CBD, you take a bit, you relax as you fall asleep, you wake up, get out of bed, no problem.
Yeah. Someone saying thanks for the fantastic information. I'll be placing an order. If you place an order, then use BRI15 for discounts or BRI with 15. And that'll get you 15%. Yeah, you got it right.
How was that there? There's some there. That's God, that.
We offer you can ring us up as well if you want to talk to us about anything. I mean, I've even visited people's houses that can't make it to the shop, and I don't push people to buy. We like to give advice, and if people are unsure, we always say basically go and do your research and then come back.
Where would you do the research, Chrissy? Just on the internet? Would you do the research just on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, if you've got specific conditions, there'll be forums out there where you'll be able to see what people have used CBD, if it's helped them, what sort of strength they've used. There'll be all different forums.
There's the places where you can read where the people give comments of they've took it and it tells you what. Yeah.
When I find a lot of information through the internet. It was the best place to be looking. There's loads of articles, scientific ones as well, where they've done research and things on the CBD.
Yeah. Is it good for sports people using it with training and stuff?
Yeah, well, the new water soluble range, we've called it the sport range because people can use it. People are going to use it in protein shakes and. It's things like that. It's not actually for just sport people, but we've called it the sport range. But it's good for training. It'll be good because it's an anti-inflammatory CBD, so it'll help with inflammation and recovery.
Yeah,
and I find it helps with my appetite. If I'm feeling better in myself, which the CBD helps, and it improves my appetite and things.
Yeah. So when you're training on the weights and you're aching the next day and you take it, probably takes the pain away a bit.
Yeah. Apparently it can help help with hangovers as well a day after. Maybe put your water soluble CBD in your drinks on the night.
I'm all right.
I'm not a drinker, to be honest.
Yeah. So do you think it's going to get even more bigger? I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, isn't it? Because people are realizing you don't get that horrible feeling when you've had.
I think once it becomes more licensed and it's easier to promote it, because I think some people still think, is it legal? Is it not legal? Because it's so restricted when you come to promoting it. I think people are still wondering. But I think it will continue to grow. As a company, we are looking into new products as well. We are going to be expanding the range into other supplements, but we can do another video on that eventually. We're looking at doing the mushroom extracts because that's really good for nerve pain and things. Because we have had a few people come in and using it for nerve, and for them the CBD wasn't quite enough, so we've been looking at alternative to try and find other ways that it could help, what could help them.
The difference between nerves and muscles, a big difference. Muscles just soft. But a nerve is straight to the root to your nerve.
But I'm looking at starting a health and wellness channel as well, so it won't be just to be pushing the CBD and what we sell. It'll be general health and well-being advice, and diets. I've got a degree in nutrition, so helping with diets and going into that sort of thing as well, just for general, just free advice basically. That's what I'm looking at doing, building a community just around general health and well-being.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant. I was going to say, so another good thing is when you're stiff, I'm stiff some days and I can't hardly move because my back's sore, my neck's sore, my neck's not as bad now. But when you take the oil, it helps you. So then you can get out of bed, you can start doing a bit of exercise, you can go a little walk, you can do a bit of bike.
And that also increases your endorphins by being able to go out and exercise and
you're going out doing a little bit of walk, you go to the shop, do a bit of shopping while you're sitting in pain, you can't be able to get up, especially this time of year, cold's freezing. When you have that CBD, you get up and it makes you more mobile, so you can do a little bit of exercise. And when you do exercise, it helps you, your gamma, your beta, as you said, it's all them levels, so it makes your mind healthier and it makes your body healthy. You just feel a lot better well-being, like you said.
Yeah, overall, just like people think you have to use it if you've only got a condition, like something wrong with you, but even just using it for general health is good for you, but even just small doses of it, like not high. I also find sometimes when people are using it for, say, pain, over time they're able to reduce dosaging for some people, then it lasts them longer. But we also advise, like, normally start on low doses. Then once you're happy, then go for the higher strength ones because it'll last you longer, basically.
Right.
I have type 1 diabetes. It's an autoimmune disease. Would you be doing any vitamins for autoimmune issues? We're just starting to branch out now, looking into other health supplements. So we will be looking at different things. I have had people use CBD, but I've had them use it for type 2 diabetes.
Right.
I don't think I've had anyone use it for type 1.
What does it do for people with, just so we know what it does for people with type 2 diabetes?
I think it's just generally just helping them health wise. Type 2 diabetes, a lot of the time it's to do with weight and your diet, and they say CBD can help with weight loss, but I do get people asking me that all the time, and if you do research, it says it can help, but I wouldn't say like it's like a slimming product. But I haven't had anyone use it for type 1 diabetes, so but if anyone has used it, if you Google like does CBD help with type 1 diabetes, they should come up with a lot of information with a lot of people's opinions and if they've used it for that and what their results are.
Yeah, like I said, if you use it and you have got arthritis and things, then you get more mobile, so you will lose weight because you can get up down the stairs where you're sitting down. Like some people, like my brother, will sit on the settee and fall asleep on there because he has mental health problems. And he's before and I've given him, he's up and he's out and he's walking and he's having a walk with the dog or whatever, and his mate next door and things. Or when they're just sitting about all day, you put weight on because you're not doing anything on the settee. So when you it helps the pain, so you can get up and go to the shop and have a walk out and things.
Yeah.
It stops that depression, getting out, and anxiety and a bit of fear going out the door. It helps all that, doesn't it?
Oh, we've had people who like suffer like panic attack disorders, or like that where they don't like to go out the house and stuff. We've had people using it for cancers, but again, we don't make claims. I think it helps with like the side effects of treatments, or it can help improve your mood and your appetite when it comes to having your treatments for cancers, like chemo. I had one girl buy one before for her granddad, and she said that it helped him get back out eating and in a pub after his treatments with cancer. He'd lost his like appetite a lot, so it helped improve that for him.
I suppose when you take it, it makes your mood better, so you can get out because you're happier and you get up and go for it when you're sitting about depressed.
Well, when you're depressed and all you want to do is sit or sleep or just not do anything, with the CBD it does improve your moods because it works with your serotonin. But again, it's finding the dose for the individual. We do have people come in and like, how much will I need, and will it definitely help? Or like if someone comes in and says, I've got a bad back, will it definitely take the pain away? We always say we can't guarantee. You need to work out what works for you.
I suppose it's a bit like when you go to the dentist or you go to the doctor and he gives you antibiotics. Some people might not work with penicillin, they might need amoxicillin or things like that. Yeah,
it's just finding out what works for your body. Some people like to take it as oil drops. Some people like it as capsules. I've had with the CBD with this is the isolate range, which means it's just pure CBD.
It's
And
isolated. What
it's
is
just
isolate?
it's just pure isolate CBD. It's just one cannabinoid. So
Right.
with this one, it contains the full plant, full spectrum, which
Right, that's
contains
all the
hundreds of cannabinoids.
Right.
This is just one cannabinoid.
Right.
CBD is good overall for everything, but with the full spectrum, it works together in your body as an entourage effect. It just all works together better, so it gives better results. But we've had some people take the isolate range for pain, but we tend to advise the full spectrum because of this CBDA, which
Right.
is noted on the bottle, and that's good for pain, that
Right.
cannabinoid.
Which is the best one for your mood? Is that the same?
Well, to be fair, with anxiety and depression and stuff, we normally tend to tell people to just start on 500 milligram, maybe 1,000 milligram. And too much CBD can trigger the anxiety.
Yeah.
So we always say to start on lower doses and
Yeah.
slowly increasing.
Less is always best.
Yes. You seem very honest and a nice woman. Where do you buy your products from? The website's on the. I'll show you the website if you can see it.
And the website you buy them off is the government check to see the stuff in the bottles right. Is that right?
What's that, Ray?
So the website you get them off, they're checked by the government who check to see what's in the bottles to see if it's all.
Oh, it goes through it does go through all like the border force and stuff because it comes from Poland.
Yeah.
Since Brexit, it takes a lot longer to arrive.
Little dig that. Yeah,
Bottles.
It's all checked out by the government, so everything what's on the label is.
Yeah. We're all like lab tested. It's lab tested in the country it comes from, and then independently lab tested here.
Yeah.
Don't think. 1 second. Someone just said, "Don't think it works for me. I used to smoke hash 2-litre bottles from 15, 20 hours. Used to make me anxious as well." Again, CBD. It might not have worked for you, but it depends. Again, if you've found the dose that'll help you. Unfortunately, some people it could take time before